I even call upon you to speak. I even pleaded a ceremonial speech. You are not concluding a debate on the budget or on the state of the nation address. Then I believe, as a member rendering statement, whether majority or minority leader, you stand on your designated place and then make the statement. I will invite members to comment equally on the statement. So this is my view. You see, it is not everything that you should be urging upon the speakers to rule on it. You understand? Every day, rule on it. Speaker, rule on it. You understand? And I have ruled. Yes.
Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to make a statement on the incident of lawlessness at Ablekuma North Parliamentary Rural election. Mr. Speaker, the violent incident that occurred and marred the parliamentary rural election in Ablekuma North requires condemnation. Mr. Speaker, this House, and indeed the nation, must take very seriously the coordinated act of violence, intimidation, and lawlessness that occurred on the 11th of July 2025. These events present one of the most dangerous assaults on our democratic order since the return to constitutional rule in 1992. Mr. Speaker, this was not merely an electoral misconduct. What happened in Ablekuma North was a calculated military-style operation targeted at disrupting our electoral process and intimidating political opponents. If left unchecked, it risked normalizing political violence in our democratic culture. Mr. Speaker, permit me to highlight some of the deeply disturbing incidents. First, at St. Peter's Society Methodist Church polling station, a group of thugs stormed the premises on motorbikes and in vehicles. Honorable Hawa Kumsin, a former member of parliament, was physically assaulted in broad daylight. Our parliamentary candidate, Nana Ekuo-Wusu-Efriye, sustained some injuries to her face. Former MP Dakwa Newman and several other MPP party agents were also attacked. Electoral officials fled. Voters were terrorized. At Awoshi DVLA polling station, individuals dressed in brown uniform impersonated security personnel to gain access and misled voters until they were confronted and they failed in that instance to provide any form of identification. Elsewhere, including Asiedu Jedu Memorial School, confrontation between thugs and police officers created chaos and endangered lives. Even journalists were not spared, Mr. Speaker. A Joy News reporter and
GH1 TV's Ajekum Banahine were attacked. In fact, a police officer assaulted the latter while on duty. Mr. Speaker, this is a direct attack on press freedom and the right of citizens to be informed. These were not isolated events. This was a deliberate orchestration of violence across multiple polling stations. And what is even more troubling, Mr. Speaker, is that some officials have not only failed to condemn these acts, but have celebrated them openly and publicly. Mr. Speaker,
for those public officers who have endorsed this political violence, I say that it's a breach of public trust and a dangerous precedent that undermines Ghana's democratic foundation. Equally disturbing are the growing concerns about the negligence
of the Ghana Police Service. Allegations have surfaced implicating Chief Superintendent Lumo Frederick Senanu in facilitating this act, whether by omission or commission. The police service failed to protect lives and the sanctity of the electoral process in Ablekuma North. Mr. Speaker, Ghana's democracy is at crossroads. We must not allow this descent into lawlessness to define our politics. That is why the Minority Caucus demands the following. 1, a full-scale investigation into the matter, a full-scale prosecution of individuals that will be identified as perpetrators of the violence, a clear and unambiguous condemnation of the violence from government, including apologies to those who were particularly victimized. Chris Lloyd Nikwe, the Deputy National Organizer, Hawa Kumsin, and our candidate Nana Ekuye-Free. Mr. Speaker, we must not allow political violence to become normalized. Ghana's democracy must not be turned into a battlefield. The time to act is now. To the people of Ablekuma North, do not be cowed into silence. The right to vote is sacred and must never be trampled by fear or force. To civil society and all defenders of democracy, your voices are needed
now than ever.